We are about to see a legend back in action as Manny Pacquiao stepping back in the ring. Not only just for a fight, it's not an exhibition. No, it's a title fight at 147 against Mario Barrios, a fight that it's been rumored for some time now, but it's finally coming to fruition as Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao is back. Boxing fans around the world are ecstatic for this as they are ready to see Pac-Man back in action. Mario Barrios, though, a tough opponent, as I mentioned, a champion at 147. This is no easy feat for Pacquiao, who's 46 years old, coming back to face the 30-year-old Barrios, in which looks to be a fun fight out in Las Vegas this upcoming Saturday. But will Pacquiao not only look to shock the world, but defy father time and get the victory on Saturday? We will see. But first, make sure you like this video and comment below who you have in the fight, Pacquiao or Barrios, and make sure you hit that subscribe button to the Never Drop podcast as we look at this fight. Manny Pacquiao, 62, 8-2 with 39 knockouts, a legend. 72 total fights from the Pac-Man. This will be his 73rd and maybe one that is unlike any other one. Pac-Man been out of the ring for 4 years now. His last fight was against Yordenis Ugas back in 2021. A loss, which was the final fight on his record, obviously, went and retired. Pac-Man now making his return back to the ring at 46, like I mentioned. Height, 5'5.5", 67-inch reach. And the reach, I think, might play a factor in favor of Barrios, as he has a 4-inch reach and over a 6-inch height advantage for Barrios. This is no easy feat for Pac-Man, but nothing in his career has been easy. Quickly, though, that last fight I mentioned about Ugas, he lost via unanimous decision in that one. Close fight, lost 7-5 on one scorecard and then 8-4 on two other scorecards, but Ugas was able to get the upset and take the belt off Manny Pacquiao. Originally, if you remember, I mean, this is going back obviously 4 years. If you remember, that was going to be Pac-Man taking on Errol Spence Jr. in that fight. Unfortunately, Spence had I believe it was a retina problem, had to have eye surgery the week of the fight, and Ugas came in last minute, was able to defeat Pacquiao, which was obviously a huge upset. But that was originally going to be Errol Spence Jr. Obviously, again, that would have been Spence post car accident, but that would have been Spence Jr. Would have been a fun fight to see at 47 at that moment. Obviously, Pacquiao still would have been 40 plus in that fight, but hey, that's one of those, you look back on and say, I wonder what would have happened here in boxing. But either way, Ugas stepped in and defeated Pacquiao. Pacquiao has fought in exhibitions, fought in an exhibition last year. Didn't look relatively that great in the exhibition, but hey, it is him in the ring. For Barrios, though, 29-2-1 with 18 knockouts. I mentioned him being 30 years old, so 16 years younger than the Pac-Man. 6 foot, 71-inch reach. I think he's going to use both of that to his advantage. And if he doesn't, that's just blatantly stupid for Barrios if he doesn't use those advantages. If you look at his last fight, though, he did not impress. It was a draw via a split decision versus Abel Ramos. If you remember, it was on the undercard for Tyson Paul. I believe it was the fight before Serrano versus Taylor too. And going into it, he was thinking, oh, this is great for Barrios, obviously 47 champion, going to get some exposure, more exposures. That's one of the, if not the most watched boxing fight of all time. Barrios are really good fighter, exposure plenty, fought Tank a few years ago. People, especially the boxing community, know him, but on the Tyson Paul undercard, hey, people are going to learn you. Think about just the next fight, Serrano versus Taylor. Everyone loved that fight, but unfortunately, Barrios did not put up a good fight. He did drop Ramos in the second round, but never was able to put him away in that fight. And honestly, as the fight went on, it kind of looked like he was fading a little bit and Ramos was gaining. Ramos actually dropped Barrios in the 6th round. A couple of times Barrios looked like he was hurt, was able to survive. Obviously, gets the draw. Some people thought should have been an upset and a changing of hands with the belts, with Ramos becoming champion. But I guess Barrios is able to escape out of Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium with a draw. And now he gets a big money fight here against Pacquiao. Again, though, in this fight, I can't get over the age difference, 46 to 30. Pacquiao hasn't been in a legit ring I'm talking professional fight since 2021, the Ugas fight. That's going to play a role. I know he's great. I know Pacquiao is great, all-time eight division world champion. I was just at his Hall of Fame ceremony last month, right? I saw Pacquiao with my own eyes at the Hall of Fame ceremony, giving his speech. All the Hall of Famers rallying around him, saying he is going to win. I feel like he's fighting for all of those Hall of Famers who want to get back in the ring, but again, just too old. Manny never saying no to a challenge. He's wanted this fight for a while now. Now he's got it. But what is going to happen when he steps in that ring? I think the biggest thing here, at least for Barrios, is he can't show respect to Pacquiao. He cannot show Manny Pacquiao respect knowing he's a legend in 46. Because if he will, Pac-Man can deliver punches. Right? Pacquiao's coming in there to win and win a title. He's not coming to play around. Barrios has to realize he has to be on the same type of timing, or else Pacquiao could do something of some damage. He's pulled off upsets before. He could do some damage in this fight if Barrios is thinking, oh, older guy, legend, I'm going to show him some respect. He's got to come in here with no respect on his mind, Barrios to Pacquiao. For Pacquiao, I think he's got to get on the inside in this fight. I said the reach, 4 inches, 6+ inch height differential. Pacquiao's got to get on the inside of this fight. He's got to go to the body of Barrios. I think if you go to the body against Barrios, that can lead to Barrios not only getting tired, as body shots do to opponents, but dropping his hands. Pacquiao maybe coming across with a left straight against Barrios if that's the case. I think you get on the inside tee away at that body. That could set up Pacquiao phenomenally in this fight. I think the body is number one game plan for Pacquiao. The speed is not going to be the same for Pacquiao, so don't expect that. The footwork, I bet the footwork is very similar. Obviously, it's not going to be as fast, though. Not everything is going to be as crisp as we've seen Pacquiao. Even, in his later parts of his professional career before he retired, it wasn't obviously the same Pacquiao. So people have to understand Pacquiao's not going to come in here and be doing what he did to opponents throughout his rise in his career. He's got to find another game plan to try and beat Barrios. The body is a big aspect of this, and he's got to find a way to limit power shots from Barrios. If that means Pacquiao having to trade with him at the start and show, hey, even at 46, I still have power and gain the respect of Barrios, I think that could do wonders for Pacquiao. Barrios realized, oh, even though he's 46, this dude can still punch. He might be a little hesitant to throw, those hard right hands at Pacquiao if he knows something's coming back on the other way. Either way, though, Pacquiao, it's going to be tough. Personally, I think this is one heck of a challenge. Obviously, it's a heck of a challenge for Pacquiao. It scares me, though. 46 years old, 12 rounds. Hey, is he going to be able to make it 12 rounds with his stamina? Obviously, I've seen videos of him running, training. He's training like, obviously, this is a real fight, which it is, and everything. This is no Tyson versus Paul fight. Pacquiao's not going to sit there biting his glove like Mike Tyson was, who was 58 and not able to really do too much. And crazy to think when I say that out loud, Pacquiao's closer to Tyson's age at 58 than he is to Barrios' age at 30. But again, if anyone could do it, it's Manny Pacquiao. I do think if you're Pacquiao, man, you have to land something in those early rounds to gain the respect of Barrios, or it's just going to be Barrios coming downhill this entire fight, especially the latter end of the fight. I think Barrios is going to, play it smooth to start. He's not going to come out super aggressive. He's going to play it smooth to start, and then as he realizes, oh, maybe this isn't the same Pacquiao, then I can push forward. So Pac-Man's got to gain the respect of Barrios, which is crazy to say. But, being 46, you got to show the opponent, I still have something left in the tank. My prediction, though, in this fight, I think Barrios is going to get a decision win. I think it's going to be tough for Pac-Man. The stamina at 46, it's just 46 against a world champion fighter. I know it's Manny Pacquiao. He's an ultra world champion fighter. I just think Father Time is undefeated. I think he'll be able to survive long enough, and I think Barrios will show him enough respect that he's not going to go for the kill throughout this fight. Maybe a couple times, but once he's not able to kind of respect and use the jab and box, I just don't think Pacquiao's going to have the stamina nor the power necessarily to show Barrios, hey, I can make a difference in this fight and keep Barrios off of him and from pushing forward. Don't worry, I'm rooting for Pacquiao in this fight. I just think Barrios, everything's in his favor. The fighter in his prime against Pacquiao, 46 years old, the height, the reach, everything's in his favor. The activity, Barrios obviously been way more active than Pacquiao. I'm rooting for Pacquiao, though. I'm excited from this fight. I don't think, again, it's not going to be the Tyson Paul dilemma where one guy is too old, he can't fight, and the other guy is just going to show him respect for all those rounds. No, these guys are coming to fight. Pac-Man knows I don't just come in here for a check. I'm coming in here to win and get a belt. So I'm excited for that to happen. I think Barrios is going to realize, oh, this dude's actually coming to fight. This is no having fun type thing. This is a legit fight, and I'm going to have to find a way to beat the legend in Pacquiao. Personally, I do think Barrios does get the job done, but I think it should be an exciting fight for some rounds, and then it might become a box fest later on if Barrios shows respect. If not, Barrios might, become an enemy of a lot of people and try and go for the kill with Pac-Man. Hey, that might also backfire because Pac-Man, one of the smartest fighters, could land a nice counter and maybe take over the belt with one punch. Either way, it's going to be a fun night. Hey, they also got Tim Tszyu versus Fundora. Fundora, Tim Tszyu, number 2, the rematch. I think this is really close to the first fight because if it wasn't for that cut, I think that fight goes a lot differently. That's going to be an exciting fight. I believe Pitbull Cruz versus Fierro. I believe that's his last name. Excuse me if I'm mispronouncing it. The rematch, that was arguably one of the fights of the year. That's also on the card. It's an incredible card. Shout out to PBC putting this one together. And then obviously some great other fights on July 19th, as well as Bam Rodriguez in the ring. Not on this card, but in the ring on the 19th. Hey, either way, the headliner is Manny Pacquiao is back. Will he shock the world and get an upset win against Mario Barrios and win a title at 47? We will see. Let me know in the comments below who you have in this fight. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the Never Drop podcast. Barrios versus Pacquiao. Let me know. That's all I got for you today. Peace. I'm out.